Welcome in the fourth video of me trying to make a video game, and trying is an important word in here because it's not really going smooth lately. Oh, and I am VTuber now, as you can see. I spent like 10,000 hours on this beautiful model, so yeah, I'm gonna be a VTuber, unless I forget. But anyway, let me give you some context of what I was doing earlier. So I'm making this horror game that's taking place in the forest, and in the last video I was making procedurally generated trees, because previously I was using like trees made with this sapling add-on in Blender, and they were kind of bad for my game because they had so many triangles. It was slowing my game very much. I barely had like 60 FPS sometimes, so it was very bad. So I wanted my trees to be made of simple meshes, so there's less triangles, and it means that my game should run faster, right? So when I replaced all the old trees with the new ones, it not only didn't improve performance, but it made it much worse. So I was really confused and it didn't make sense to me, but I did some research and I found out what's going on. So every time you want to display something on the screen, you need to send a special draw command to the graphics card. It's called a draw call, and normal game engines are trying to reduce number of these draw calls because they are very expensive. But I didn't know about that. So I was using this draw command for literally every single mesh on the screen. And it's very bad, because as I said before, my trees were made of simple meshes and there were hundreds of them, so I was submitting hundreds of draw calls every single frame, which is really bad. But fortunately there is an easy solution for that, and it's called instance rendering. It's basically telling graphics card to just draw one mesh like many times. So with that I can possibly render, for example, 100 trees with only 2 draw calls, cause one draw call for a branches and one for leaves. And it was surprisingly easy to implement. I only had to do some small changes to the drawing function. So obviously, instead of doing that, I decided to delete entire rendering engine and just start over. I don't know why every time I'm making the dumbest decisions possible, but fortunately this time I had some backups, so I wasn't completely screwed. So I managed to recreate everything from scratch again, and it was looking good. I even color-coded folders in my working directory. But when I tested it, it didn't work. Because you see, Vulkan is very unforgiving and there's so many ways to fuck something up. And there's no indications what's wrong, and you just greet it with the beautiful black screen. So I spent hours looking for this little error and debugging it. I was checking every variable and going through every line, and then I realized that I just didn't set rendering area and it was 0 by default. So I had my working renderer and I even fixed some things that were wrong with the previous one. So it was time to make the instance rendering finally, but then the Fire Nation attacked. And by that I mean series of unfortunate events. So first of all I was sick, but it wasn't a big deal. But then there was a summer examining session at my university, so that was not cool. But I think I passed all the classes. I mean, obviously they didn't give me any confirmation, so I don't know if I passed to the next semester, but I believe I did. And the final one was that I watched entire One Piece live action, and it was pretty good, to be honest. Like, I would give it 8 out of 10. I mean, sometimes it was kind of weird, but I think it's because I've never read a manga or something. It actually made me wanna watch an anime, but it has like million episodes at this point, so I don't even know where to start. But anyway, I've managed to defeat all the obstacles on my way, and now I could go back to working on this instance thing. So I successfully made a working instance rendering, and to be honest, that was the easiest part of the whole thing I did this 2 weeks. So yeah, now I can render 20 trees with 8000 FPS. Great success. So that's all I did. I'm sorry I couldn't really do more, but thank you for watching anyway, and bye.